Hey guys, so I have a Natasha Denona update for you guys. So I just released a video letting you guys know some gossip of a new mini that is coming out. So if you haven't checked that out, check out that video. But we got some more gossip because another palette released from Miss Natasha, but this is going to be an Ipsy exclusive, and I am a creator for Ipsy, and they sent me over the July Ipsy box. That includes a Natasha Denona palette. So this is the Fez palette. It looks just like this, okay? So this is coming in your July 2023 Ipsies. So I said, you know what? Let's do a Natasha Denona update for my Natasha Denona fans all about this new palette. In case you guys want to sign up to Ipsy, or if you're even interested in it, but we do have some details about it. So this is not an original palette. Every single one of these shades is a repeat from another palette, okay? And it's really, really pretty. I have it on my eyes today, but today I'm gonna be doing a comparison video. So what I did was I searched for the colors that are in this palette in the original palettes. So one of my eyes is using the Fez palette and the other eye is using all the original colors from the multiple palettes that they come from, okay? So that is what we're doing today. So maybe you guys can decide if you even think this is worth signing up to Ipsy or buying. And sometimes I think you could like buy it from people or whatever. So yeah, that is what we're going to do. So let's get into first the colors and where they're coming from. So we've got the first color in the brand new palette, and I want to just tell you guys that Ipsy sent out an email saying that a lot of people are going to get this shade broken, but that Natasha Denona's team says that it's fine to use broken. You could just smush it back into place. And actually this is one of her matty, creamy mattes, whatever they're called, and they are very easy to just smush back into place. So mine just fixed, you see, so it's not like powdery or anything. But anyway, so this is the color Mindful, and it looks just like this. I just like literally stacked this up so much that I'm probably not gonna be able to get it off my hand. But anyways, it is actually inside of the Zendo palette. So if you guys see up here, Mindful is from Zendo, and I'm gonna swatch it right underneath so you guys can see Mindful and Mindful. So these are both Mindfuls. One is Zendo and one is the new Fez palette. If you notice I'm swatching a little different, they are a tad bit different in formula. So I'm gonna get into that as we do the eye look and towards the end of the video, but you are gonna see a little bit of a lightness coming from her original palettes versus the new Fez palette. Okay, so the next color is Oro, which if you guys know, this beauty is actually from Gold. So we're gonna go ahead and swatch it right here. So this is what Oro looks like, and beautiful pigment, amazing pigment, and Gold is the one that it comes from. It's right here in the center, Oro, and we're gonna swatch it right underneath. So those are the first two shades inside of the Fez palette, and one came from Zendo, one came from Gold. So the next one is this one right here in the center. So this one here is called Carnelian, and I believe this one is also inside of Sunrise, but we'll get there. So this is what it looks like. It's that really pretty like orangey color, and I believe it's from Sunrise, right? Yeah, it is. It's from Sunrise. So you guys see it right here in the bottom, Carnelian. And I'm gonna swatch it right underneath. A little bit more pigmented, right? Yes. Okay, so now the next one is actually this one here. It's also a creamy matte. This one takes forever to get off your skin, so I just really regretted swatching that in the front of my arm right now. I'm gonna do it again because I'm gonna swatch it from Circo Loco. So it's this one right here from Circo Loco. My Circo Loco is rearranged. I just know it's this one because the name's there. And it's just a tad lighter, but same thing. Oh, so hard to get off. It's probably lighter also because I swatched it less. Because look at this, guys. Like this color stains your skin. It stains your skin so bad. So the next one is the color Morning, which is also from Sunrise. So it looks like that. It's beautiful, very light tone. Almost like a peachy orange. And then it's inside of Sunrise. If you guys see it right here, Morning. Right there. And there we go. Those are the colors inside of the new Fez palette and coming from the palettes that they come from. I will tell you guys, it reminds me a lot of Metropolis, which is not even a palette I jumped into, but literally is like Like if she was creating the Metropolis palette and she was just grabbing colors and she created this, like this is Metropolis, you know? It's not any of the colors from Metropolis, but it's literally Metropolis. So anyways, let's go ahead and let's get into an eye look. I'll show you guys how I created this side of the eye, which is the Fez, and this side, which is all the original palettes. And then I'll tell you guys my thoughts at the end. Okay, zoomed in. I'm excited. This kind of looks like Metropolis though. I'm gonna tell you, this looks so much like it should be Metropolis's sister. That's Metropolis. All right, so these are all repeats. All repeats, okay? I will show you guys the palettes that they are from, but let's go ahead and play with this. What we're gonna do is on this eye, I'm going to use the new Frey. On the rest of the eye, on the other eye, I'm going to use the palettes that they originally came from. So let's see if this new palette has changed formulas, the same thing. But if you guys don't know, they're all repeats. I'll probably tell you guys in the beginning of this video. And in case I forget, they're all repeats, repeated shades. So I'm going to start off with, oh, by the way, this one's broken. And I think almost everybody got a broken one. I was reading that. So I'm going to start off with the first color here. In the crease. Ooh, that's pigmented. Just like Natasha's great palettes, very pigmented, very pretty. So let's get into, this is the Sunrise, right? The Sunrise, and Morning is this one right here, and it's inside of Sunrise. So let's go ahead and put it on the other eye. So far, I feel like they're the same. Hey, what's going on here? Pigment is different. I mean, you guys can see the difference there, right? I mean, like this one is from the new palette and this is the older Morning. Like it's not, why isn't it coming out? Let me switch my brush just to give it like a fair shot. I'm gonna switch it to another brush. I mean, it could have just been the brush, but I have to say, I feel like this eye got the pigment a lot quicker than this one. They're the same exact color, but I think the new palette has a better pigment. I don't know if it has better formula, but it's better pigment. The formula in here was a little bit dustier. This one was a little bit less dusty, still dusty, but I'm wondering if these are more like pigments or maybe stronger shadows than these original ones that were inside of the Sunrise. So let's do this orangey tone. And yeah, let's do it on the outer. Let's do it on the outer and then we'll smoke it into the brown. I'm doing my color switch so I can clean off these brushes. So let's grab this. Let's just put it. These little palettes, I hate that they don't have a mirror. I really do. I feel like for me, I always want a mirror. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it here in the outer V. It's a little bit deeper, if you guys can tell, than the other one. That's nice. Okay. Carnelian was also inside of Sunrise, but actually even the color looks a little different. Let's just jump into it and see. Let's see. Well, it does look a little different. I mean, it looks brighter, doesn't it? A little bit brighter. I mean, it's like the same color, just a little brighter. Honestly, I think the one inside of Sunrise I like better, because it just came off a little bit, more pigmented off the get-go. Okay, so the next one I want to jump into is Oro, which is this one. And I know that this is in the gold palette because I remember it in the gold. So we're going to use the gold one too and see, because gold was my favorite palette. So let's just put that. Yeah, that's that. I don't really love this color, to be honest, guys. It's not really a color I usually would like to wear because I don't like this type of like bright gold, but it was one of the best colors inside of the gold palette, like the most pigmented, I remember. So it is kind of cool that it's in this Ipsy palette. That's what it looks like. Let's blend it in. And let's grab my other finger and let's get into the gold and use, ooh, the gold has a stronger, I don't know, on my finger it came up faster. Ooh, and it feels more pigmented. I mean, the formula definitely did change a little bit between like the bigger palettes and this one. Is it very noticeable? Not as much, except for those first two shades. I actually think that the new palette was a little bit better. So let's go like this. And I actually feel like this one in the original gold was a stronger pigment. It had like softer, it felt softer. I guess that's the word, but at the end, the result almost looks the same, right? Maybe a little bit stronger on this side, but result almost looks the same. All right, so let's try the broken shade, which is this one here, the last one, and we'll use the blue on the lower lash line. So the broken shade I think is called Mindful. Yes, it is, because I found it in Zendo. I clean them off. Okay, so let's grab a little bit of this broken shade. Let's put that in the outer V. Very, very pigmented, this new palette. This Faye palette is very pigmented. It's actually really good. Really, really good. I'm actually pretty shocked because sometimes when they do like these Ipsy or BoxyCharm ones, they're not as good. This is good. Natasha, you did it again. And let's go into Mindful out of Zendo. You know, Zendo is one of the palettes that I've used the least. And actually, I feel like the Mindful and the Faye is better than the Zendo Mindful. That's kind of crazy. That was a very interesting occurrence. I actually think that I like the Mindful in the Faye. I mean, they're the same. I don't know why it was just easier to work with. I don't know. Maybe because this one I've had for years and the other one's brand new. How interesting. Okay. You guys can, I feel like this one even blended better. Whatever. All right, so now let's get into that blue. Like, my good brushes are downstairs and I don't feel like going downstairs to get them, so I'm using like my leftover brushes, so I'm hoping that this comes out okay. So let's grab this blue. I really don't like blue on the eyes, so I'm just gonna use it in the lower lash line, which is usually what I use blue for. And yep, it's like nice and bright, just like I thought. All right, there we go. Nice pigment. That's a strong blue. Blended really, really nice. Yeah, it's this one inside of Circle Loco. I actually rearranged my Circle Loco, but it's the blue. Huh. I feel like the Circle Loco one was just a tad stronger, maybe a little bit easier to pick up on the brush. Similar formula, just a little easier to pick up on the brush. I feel like it was more pigmented, like off the get-go. Like, I just got a lot under my eye. Like, woof, look how much, woof. You're getting me a lot more. I was not prepared. I was kind of thinking it was gonna be like the other one. So that's the thing, when you use different formulas, you sometimes think it's gonna be like the exact same, and you're like, okay, let's do the same method, and then you can like make a disaster like I just did. And then I think I'm gonna just grab into this morning color to blend it. Is that morning? Yeah, morning. I think that was also inside of Sunrise. Oh, I made it green. Look at that, made it green. Okay, now let me get a little bit of foundation to clean off this side where I kind of goofed, and put on some eyeliner, and I'll show you guys the final look. Okay, and here we go, finished look. And those are the eyes. Super, super cool. So this is the Faye. This is the Natasha's original palettes. Can you guys tell a difference? I can. I can. So let's get into final thoughts. Okay, so we're at the end of the video, and what I have to tell you guys is I actually think this Fez palette has so much more pigment. I don't know what it is, but for the most part, most of the colors had more pigment. I do think the blue coming out of Circle Loco for some reason just packed a bigger punch than the one coming out of the Fez, but in my opinion, I'd rather it have less punch because blue is just not a color I like to wear on lids, and if you go in too heavy-handed like I did on this eye, such a pain to fix, such a pain to fix. So anyways, I actually really like the Fez palette. I think it is very good quality. It's actually even more pigmented than some of her original palettes, which is very shocking. But do I think that you should go out and sign up to Ipsy to get this palette? I mean, I don't, just because I think the color selection, even though it's cool, it's a little harder to wear. I mean, maybe if you like leave out the blue every once in a while, it's not like a very easy everyday palette. I also do think that if you have Metropolis, you're gonna have something similar to this already, But if you don't have some of the palettes that I talked about and you like the colors that is inside of this palette, the quality is there. It's really, really good. And then I would say, yeah, totally sign up. I would personally sign up to Ipsy just knowing that they have a partnership with Natasha Denona and thinking that there could be stuff in the works maybe for the fall, but you never really know, you know? So I like it. I think it's a beautiful palette. I actually think that some of the shades are even better than the original, and that is the honest truth. And also, I personally would not sign up just to get this palette because I don't love the colors for an everyday, and I also think I already have Metropolis, which can do this for me. But if you love it, that is totally up to you. So, and I also want to mention that I am an affiliate with Natasha Denona, meaning that I have a discount code with her. So if you like Natasha Denona and you love her like me, it's always like a huge benefit to be able to shop her website and get discounts. So I'm going to go ahead and put it up on the screen. It'll be down in the description box. If there's something that you want from her website, you can get a discount using my code, which is really cool because you guys know how much I love this brand. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.